Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a minute since we made a video, but back at it again with, actually I think this is my very first Jungle Cup video, so we're about a week and a few days into this meta, actually probably a week and a half. The meta is pretty condensed, which is really good if you want to climb. It means you know the mon that are going to be in the meta, you know the moves that they're going to have. Really not a ton of surprises. There's Lanturn, Ferrothorn, Quagsire, usually Shadow, Poliwrath, Dynamic Punch Poliwrath. What else is in there? Golisopod, Mantine. These are the big ones. Obviously, there's a few others on the outside of the meta, but those are the big ones for the meta. Yeah, so I've been using a team since the very beginning of Jungle Cup. I actually thought Jungle Cup was only going to be a week, so I knew I wasn't going to have time to make this video, but then it was 2 weeks long, and now I actually do have time. So the team is going to be Lanturn in the lead. It's going to be Spark Lanturn, which is the best Lanturn in this meta. Considering you're going to be running into other Lanturns, you're going to be running into Mantines. Yeah, you're a little worse against the Quagsire, but we'll go over the back line for dealing with that. In the back line, we have Ferrothorn. You guys know how I love Ferrothorn, so you knew that was going to be a part of the team. And then our safe swap is going to be Escavalier. So we have double steel in the back, so an ABB type of line, but it's not that ABB. I have a ton of games played, and obviously this week and a half since I've not uploaded any videos, so I wanted to not show all of those games, so this video would be like an hour and a half long probably. So we're only going over the last couple of days for me here. Oop, I'm all blurred out. There we go. Yeah, and I probably started playing the team at 2960, and I'm currently, oh man, I should have looked this up right before. I'm at 3226. So about 160 something points. I'm on page 3 of the leaderboard, which is pretty sweet. It's been a long time since I've been this high up on the leaderboard. I've skirted around the last page basically for a long time, the last couple of seasons, I guess. And it's good to be back, to be honest. I've got some goals for the end of the season. I think I want to end at 3,500. But we'll see how realistic that is in the coming metas. Right now, we just hit a good meta with a good team. And now that I'm going to give the team away, I'm probably going to end up losing a lot of these games. But I keep losing myself in the camera. But okay, let's go ahead and get into the battles since it's going to end up being a long one here. But first, if you haven't, definitely subscribe. We'll be back at the videos again. Just had some obligations there. So, whoops. All right, first team here is going to be a Jellicent lead, so this is obviously really good for Lanturn. They could stay in and go straight like Shadow Ball, which a lot of them seemingly like to do. They end up coming in with the Magnezone here. I switch into a Escavalier. Only thing is, you're going to have to shield here because a Wild Charge will one-shot. They usually go for like a Mirror Shot here, but they're not going to have enough HP to survive these two counters anyways. Oh, actually, they probably would have. I think they actually would have, and I'm pretty sure I would have lost CMP, so I decided to throw. I am down a shield already, but Lanturn does hard beat this Jellicent. I'm going to let Escavalier go. The thing that I think could be in the back is in their steel type, which would be something like Ferrothorn. But if we end up getting Lanturn to do a little bit of damage to Ferrothorn, we're obviously going to win the mirror. So I decided to stay in a little bit here. I end up going for the Thunderbolt. They do resist it, so I'm banking on them not shielding this. And then Ferrothorn just does resisted damage to itself over and over, so we swap into this. Now, unfortunately, they do end up shielding, so we're probably going to end up on the... It's going to be close, to be honest, in the ones, because while we did a little bit of damage, and they're a little bit ahead on energy to do a little bit more, to do a few more Thunders, we are going to be subjected to... probably this Ferrothorn versus the Lanturn again, because this matchup's going to go so long. What I really like to do here, though, is I need to keep my energy decently high, except that the clock's about to come up on our side, on their side, so I want to throw it right now to get the timer. We're still about 5 seconds out on our side, and then we can always keep throwing Thunder into this, because even if they swap and catch on Jellicent, it's going to be super effective against Jellicent. Now, I end up switching into Lanturn here, which I think it's fine, actually. I was going to say it's a mistake, but it really isn't. I'm going to be able to go for the Thunderpulse here, get this low, hopefully get it into Power Whip range. Yeah, this is probably Power Whip range, even though it is double resisted from the Ferrothorn. And then if he decides to stay in, I'll probably take one Thunder because we'll still survive. And then I decide he's... Oh, good catch here. Does this KO? Yes. But I think we'll end up CMPing here. No, they end up going for the Thunder, and we're going to KO here with the Power Whip. Obviously, this was a tough game, but we are not in Power Whip range ourselves. So, Mantine lead, obviously really good. They switch into Registeel just like that. I've seen a couple of Registeels. I've actually seen a couple of Berserkers too. Berserkers is definitely an interesting one. It does have close combat. The only thing is, I end up going for a CMP tie here. They're basically at 2 close combats. I want to make sure that I get a shield back if I'm going to end up double shielding, which I do want to maintain switch. Although I don't need to maintain switch that bad, right? So I can... Okay, yeah, they weren't at double close combat, I guess. Maybe they were one off. They end up coming in with a Poliwrath. I'm going to just go for the drill run. I have gone for Megahorn before. Don't do that. That is a very bad idea. It is resisted by the fighting type of the Poliwrath there. All right, they do come with the Ferrothorn. We end up doing the exact same thing. I'm going to go for just a little bit of chip damage and then switch into my own Ferrothorn because even though this is resisted, I'm already going to be throwing resisted moves into this Ferrothorn with my own as it is. So I might as well get a little bit of a lead. This is actually basically a Thunder's worth of a lead. So while they throw the Thunder and now they even it up, we're technically going to be up on energy now. And you can see here, I'm not throwing right away. I want to throw at the max that I can before they get to another Thunder. Because their switch is going to be up before mine. So I want to make sure that I have energy for the swap in if they do come in. Since they did switch before we did, we obviously threw a move into the Ferrothorn ourselves. So I'm going to throw the Thunder here. They don't go for the catch. Their timer's probably up now. And I think we still have a few seconds on ours. So they end up coming in with the Poliwrath. I do get to this move, luckily, since I did gain all that energy. Or I sustained all that energy. I do come in with the... Lanturn here, you obviously don't want to shield anything here. It's not going to KO even if this is Dynamic Punch. It is just a normal Poliwrath, so I'm going to get the farm down here. I think I end up shielding this. No, I don't. Okay. It is Icy Wind. Okay. I was going to say let this go, but to be fair, they are going to be out of energy here. So if they're going to be out of energy, I'm going to want to not go for a possible CMP on my own Ferrothorn. They switch into Steelix here. This was a mistake. This game, I believe, was from a couple of days ago. And even as I threw my Escavalier in here and they threw in bad timing. Oh, no, it's the same timing because they have Thunder Fang. I definitely should have come in Ferrothorn. This is just so risky. I end up losing both shields here. I'm going to win switch back. So I'm going to maintain switch advantage. But I could have just brought in Ferrothorn and it would have been fantastic. We'll see what they end up having here in the back. I think this might be a loss, actually, if I remember, because they're going to have a lot of damage here on the Poliwrath as well. Yeah. And then I end up throwing bad timing here because they switched in so fast. Okay, I get a little bit of energy on that, but timer's really messed up now. We're probably about 12 seconds behind. Actually, we're probably exactly 12 seconds behind, which is a lot. It means that I really need to be making sure that I throw the Thunders right before the right before the chance they have to swap, which is probably going to be about 10 seconds. I probably should just throw Thunder right away here. Actually, this ends up being perfect for me if I'm being honest. CMP means we're going to get the full timer, but they still have a shield, right? And this Thunder is not even going to be enough. I do end up switching because I anticipate that they're going to switch. I need to live a Dynamic Punch here, and I don't think I do. Maybe I should have just thrown the Surf. And I go for the farm down there, and it's like, oh, well, you're not going to make the farm down because they're going to get a counter in. Why even go for that? Well, at this point, that's my only win condition is if I actually get that farm down and I throw the Surf, and I've already won CMP before here, so I would be able to get to the Power Whip. But no, not with I probably should have thrown the Surf into the Poliwrath, but what would that have really done for me? I still think I would have lost that game. Would have taken too much counter damage. Magnezone, obviously really bad for us into Lanturn, just because we're doing resisted damage to it, and it's going to get a lot of energy to possibly, even though dealing resisted damage to Ferrothorn would still do a lot with the why can't I think of the word, Volt Switch. So I think I'm going to shield here because I want to try to get as many shields down as possible. They're a Magnezone team, so this is definitely enough to KO if you're in the Escavalier versus Mantine matchup. If you get a little bit of an energy lead and they decide to try to get as low as possible, it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to get the farm down, and I don't care if they throw a move here, but they want shields for their Magnezone, and I want them to not have shields, so I'm willing to just trade a shield right there. I'm basically going to get another shield back right here. Maybe I can go for a catch. Maybe I could just switch right away. Or I could even go for a shield and go for the Surf here, which I think I'm going to... Interesting. I guess I thought they were going to go for the bait, which they did. And now I can shield this next one. And we'll see what they end up doing. I can gain a little bit of a lead here. They actually end up having a Jellicent. Bad timing here. Sometimes on the switch-ins, if they get the one-turn lag or not, you can really trick yourself into what the timing should be. I go for a little bit more energy there on the Lanturn because just in case they get to the double Shadow Ball here and they KO the Ferrothorn, I want to have a little bit of energy lead against the against that Magnezone. But this is going to be GG. They don't have a move. Or they don't have any energy, to be honest. All right, Mantine into Steel type, into Escavalier, and that's how that goes every time. So the Shadow Quagsire is an interesting matchup for the Ferrothorn because even with that little bit of energy lead, no matter how fast you swap, you're going to be taking a lot of damage from these Mud Bombs, which is what's being used here in this cup. I know out in the Open Great League, we're more used to like Aqua Tail, Stone Edge, but Mud Bomb is crazy good in this cup, and it's for this reason alone. Well, not alone, but you're going to be able to do super effective against the Lanturns also, which are everywhere. I end up going for bad timing here because I just want to take shields. What I can do is have this shield advantage, or I can end up shielding but I think I'm going to take shield advantage here, come in with a Escavalier, go for a farm down, or try to get a lot of energy here. Just let this go, probably. Because, I guess I'm shielding this because it's Shadow. But, wait, what was in the lead? Wasn't this the Mantine team? Oh, no, this was the... Okay. Well, this ends up doing a ton of damage to Golisopod. You're not going to get the farm down, but they're only going to get to, like, an Aerial Ace if they have that. They won't make it to Liquidation. We end up getting that farm down. Like I said, if they do come back in the Quagsire, we're probably going to end up farming it down before they get to a move. They end up coming in with a Lanturn. We're going to throw super effective Drill Run, which is really nice for the Escavalier. Escavalier is actually, while it's an extremely good safe swap in this cup, it is very frail, which is obviously very tough for it. But if you want to like take shields from them and have your basically Ferrothorn, which has the most coverage, I think, comparatively to Lanturn, you can definitely go for that. And really, Ferrothorn is an amazing finisher. They end up coming back into the Quagsire. We have the Surf. Obviously, we have all three Mons still, so we're going to be fine to fast attack this down, even if they get to a Mud Bomb here against the Lanturn. All right, Berserker lead. Tougher in the lead. Obviously, you don't want this on the Ferrothorn, so I'm willing to take this matchup. I just thought they were going to go for close combat right away. Didn't know they had Trailblaze, but now I do. So, end up going far past a Thunderbolt, which should definitely KO. I'm not sure if a Surf would KO or not from here. I kind of would doubt it. I'm going to shield this. I think this is also another close combat. And then it's a question of if I can get to two moves or not, and I decide that I can't. But I'm going to go for a ton of energy here and then go into the Ferrothorn. I basically go up to 100 energy on that Lanturn. It's going to have play against a lot of this meta. It is possible that it is going to be a Ferrothorn in the back. Ferrothorn and Lanturn go really well hand in hand, even though there was a Steel type in the front. Still could be ABA Steel. This is not going to KO the Lanturn, so no need to undercharge it. Can just farm this down, basically. And Berserker is definitely in Thunder range, but it might even be in Power Whip range, even though it was resisted, because it's just so frail. All right, Poliwrath, a tough lead to say the least. There's a lot of variants of Poliwrath running around. There's Icy Wind, Dynamic Punch, which I think is the most used one. There's also Power Up Punch, Icy Wind, which is tough. And I technically ran into one Scald one. I do go for the bait here. They almost always shield, so that's nice. And then I always let them throw again. I'll go for the double shield. And then they're basically going to be in surf range. So I'm going to go for the bait here again, just because it's, at this point, basically not a bait. Again, most used is Dynamic Punch, Icy Wind, but I've ran into so many, like, Shadow with... this was a very late swap. Shadow with Power Up Punch and Icy Wind, basically, which can be really rough for something like Ferrothorn, just going to get eaten alive. They might go for the shield here. I decided to safe swap into a literal safe swap into a Escavalier, but they end up going for the shield. I do have 100 energy on Lanturn, which is nice, but my timer is going to be weird here if they have something good against the Ferrothorn in the back, like an Escavalier of their own. They end up having a Lucario, which is fine. I'm able to go for this Thunder. I think it actually would be enough to KO, and even if it isn't, it's going to do a lot here. I end up waiting for them to throw a move. This Lucario actually has the new move. I forgot the name of it, but it's a 3-turn fighting move. So you saw I paused there and just tried to watch what was happening, made sure that he threw another fast attack, then swapped in, basically combo played him. The last thing I wanted to do was swap in and just get insta-murdered with like a Shadow Ball. I saw Steel in the top. I switched into my own Steel type. This was very bad. Technically, both of my Mon are very good against Mantine, so I don't necessarily need to win this middle matchup, but not the best idea. I didn't look at the subtyping, to be honest. I saw Steel and was like, all day I'm going into like Registeel, Lucario, and beating these things up, but yeah, I got played here, and they have Aerial Ace as well, which is a very interesting and I think good moveset here on Escavalier. I personally still like Mega Horn. It is actually better against something like Mantine. I'm going to come in with a Ferrothorn here because it's more energy efficient, I guess. And plus, if I just get to the Thunders against the Mantine, I'm going to be in perfect shape. They end up probably having something else weak. Maybe, I don't know, actually. I really don't know at all what it would be. I guess Quagsire makes the most sense. I think it would be a Quagsire. All right, Escavalier in the front. I want to make sure that I'm showing Thunderbolt, but they end up catching on Lucario, or Ludicolo, and it is double resisted. Just terrible by me. I do switch right away into Ferrothorn. This is a very dominant matchup, but I've lost a lot of energy here. You definitely want to go for Power Whip. It is neutral against Lucario. Ludicolo, why do I keep saying Lucario? Toe Tactical would be upset. They end up having Scald, which maybe they have Scald and Leaf Blade. I end up trying to go for the big farm down here, and I do get it, which is nice. They're probably going to come back in with Escavalier, so I do go for the Thunder. And I think that I can... can I make it to another Thunder? I don't know. I decide to not try to play that game, and I go for my own Power Whip just to do damage. They end up catching again here, but it is on Lanturn, so this is the move we want to throw at Lanturn. I do have my Escavalier in the back, so I probably will end up saving the shield for Escavalier. Probably end up in a farm down situation against its Lanturn because I'm basically I'm not in Thunderbolt range, but I'm in Thunderbolt farm down range. But I actually win CMP, which I will say, if you're going to run Lanturn in this cup, which you probably should, you probably should use this team, probably use a higher attack version. Mine is actually my best Lanturn. I think it has 4 or 5 attack. I can't remember another time I won CMP against another Lanturn, so you're going to want to win CMPs against Lanturn, that's for sure. It's cost me a couple games, and obviously the bulk probably has won me a couple games. Shadow Gyarados, I think, is insanely good for this cup. They end up switching into Kingdra, and I slowly switch into Ferrothorn here, so I'm in a bit of a pickle, but I know that I do resist everything. I think they end up going for the Octazooka here, getting the drop. Let me give you a little hint on what's about to happen here. I'm about to get Octazooka again and also get the drop, so I'm going to be 4 times attack debuffed, which is nice. But I do get 2 moves off before they get another Octazooka. They're probably going up to Outrage, so they want to bait. But I'm going to live. I probably would die to an Outrage here, but I'm okay letting this go. I was already in the mindset of coming in with Lanturn and farming down. So yeah, just going to let this come in. But I have to be a little worried. I do take both shields, which is nice. And I'll probably come in with Lanturn and try to farm it all the way down. And then leave a Escavalier for the back, because even against that Shadow Gyarados, and it is resisting both of my moves, it is going to be so frail that I don't think it's going to matter that much. So I want to see what they have in the back. They do end up having a Quagsire. I'm going to do my neutral move against that, just do a little bit of damage, and now I'm going to switch to a Escavalier, and I'm all in here on a Escavalier. I'll shield once against Quagsire if I need to. If he switches right away, we'll shield against the Gyarados, probably go for a little bit of extra energy. If he stayed in, I probably would double shield and just farm all the way down. This is going to do a massive amount of damage, even though it is resisted by the flying typing of Gyarados. And I'll probably end up getting the farm down here. Shield, an Aqua Tail, or a Crunch, which are the moves it should be using. Crunch, yeah. Went for the kill shot there. Makes a lot of sense. And yeah, just get to the drill run here, and that's going to be GG. So yeah, Escavalier does a lot of damage. Okay, this is how I like to play the Ferrothorn matchups out, and after like 5 days of playing this team, I've never caught a move, but it is weird. They almost always do throw this Thunder on 7, so they're going to be at 2, and then they come in with a Jellicent. Okay, it makes sense, but I'm not really going to be in Shadow Ball range, but the question is, am I going to shield a possible Shadow Ball here? They do normally outpace me, but I am ahead on energy, so I could go for the shield here. If I remember this game right, this kind of thing happens a lot. I think they actually CMP me on the Surf. And I know it's the Surf. There's no way he could have made it to a Shadow Ball there. He just wanted to get a little bit of extra damage in. But now I've successfully wand switch, which is nice. So yeah, that Ferrothorn, I think they're going to come back in Ferrothorn. Yeah. So that Ferrothorn, well, this is an interesting play because I do shield a Thunder here. But now I'm using my best thing here, but they end up coming with a Lanturn. I'm not going to die in one shot, so maybe I'm going to get 2 of these drill runs off. Anyways, while this is happening, if I get the lead, I always go 7 Sparks into Ferrothorn. One time it has betrayed me by someone who threw on bad timing, probably knowing that I'm trying to go for something cheeky like that. So while it's bad timing, it ended up being very good for them, which obviously is going to be pretty good. I ended up throwing this move right away. I think I lost this game, if I remember right, because I didn't go for extra energy here. Obviously, I'm taking a lot of damage here, which is fine. But Lanturn does okay against Ferrothorn, and when I say okay, I mean it can do damage. I mean it's reduced. What am I saying? It's resisted damage, but able to get this Thunderbolt off. Do I lose this game? I think I do. No, I think I can't. How could I possibly lose this game? I'm outside of Thunderbolt range, and they're in Power Whip range. I think I win this game. But anyways, having that extra energy on Lanturn and being able to throw that into Ferrothorn later. Oh, I think I might be in Thunderbolt. Oh, no, I live and they die to that seed bomb. That bullet seed, rather. That's pretty rare. I do remember that one. Actually, was that today? No, it couldn't have been today. Okay. Oh, wait, it could have been. That was 3 hours ago. These games are probably from today. I didn't show any of the first, 3 days of games because you get better as you play a team, and I wanted to make sure I give you all those strategies right. I think we're going to see another Ferrothorn versus Lanturn matchup at some point. I end up changing the way I play against the Lanturns because I basically lost every CMP, which means I would lose the lead matchup if they went double Thunderbolt. Which they always did. I actually never got baited, which makes sense. I've also never baited myself, so there's no reason to, I don't know, go for that bait and just auto lose. But now I like going for basically both throwing the Thunderbolt and then switching into the Escavalier, getting a little bit of energy lead, and then doing whatever I need to do in the back. I do have a shield advantage. I'm technically, I think, outside of... Oh, no. I'm definitely... Well... I'm in Dynamic Punch range. They don't have any energy on their Lanturn, which means I think I can get the big farm down here. And they end up coming in with a Ferrothorn. Great for me. I'm going to do a Thunderbolt to it, and then I'm probably just going to switch, Maybe I'll do one spark and then switch. No, I just go straight for the switch here. The only thing is, I don't want them to catch a thunder, so I'll probably end up waiting every single time after a seed bomb. You see, I wait for another seed bomb to come through. I'm going to do that like 5 times in this matchup, to be honest. So, yeah, if you want to be behind the leaderboard, you need to make sure that you're implementing everything that you possibly can, and that means waiting turns if I need to make sure that the moves are coming through. Don't just throw hasty. We know that we can never CMP here, so I'm always going to wait. Yeah, sometimes when I'm playing lazy, I just won't. I'll just throw, and it'll be whatever. And now I think it's in probably bullet seed range or seed bomb range, so I'm gonna go up to double seed bomb, or maybe I'll go 7. It depends on what their count is. I haven't been paying attention here, but obviously when I played the games I was paying very close attention to the counts. So I get to 2 moves, and then I throw 1, and then I throw back to back, and that's gonna be 2 mon down to Ferrothorn there. So implement everything you know if you really want to climb the leaderboard. That's what that is all about. All right, that was a long one for, oh, wrong camera. That was a long one for the first time back in a while, but Jungle Cup's been a blast. I will say I didn't make this team up. I did see it on Twitter like more than a week ago, probably, by For the Battles. She used to be a YouTuber and a streamer as well. Yeah, she made a great team here. Maybe she didn't make it, I don't know, but she's the person I saw popularize it on Twitter. So just wanted to give a shout out or give the dues where they are due. And yeah, we'll be back at it now. I needed some time off for some family obligations, and also work got a little crazy, but hopefully dying down a little bit. And yeah, going to be playing some Jungle Cup. Probably going to end up switching teams after this video comes out. Just too many people. But this is the only team I played in Jungle Cup, and it worked a lot. And it's just a good team. So I'll leave you on that one. And if you haven't, definitely hit the like button. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. And I'll catch you in the next one. Hit the subscribe. Hey, thank you for watching the video. And if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.